Next, the Great Hall, the most important room in the palace. It's usually thought that Henry VIII built this from scratch, but Jonathan believes this oriel window is a relic from Wolsey's palace.
Standing on top of what I think is Wolsey's oriel window, it's the best place to get a look at some of the eccentricities of the design.
With his architect's eye, he'd spotted tiny anomalies in the brickwork and overall design, which made him suspect that Henry had only remodelled the hall. Over the years, Jonathan has collected many strange clues like these. On their own, each may appear inconclusive, but once he pulled them all together, something quite remarkable happened.
Well, you know what it's like when you get an interest in any particular subject, you become a total train spotter, and you take it home with you. So I sat there over the Christmas holidays, of course, having nothing better to do than to get a plan out and think about work. And when I started to map these things down on a great plan of the palace, you start to see that some of the dots line up. And you have to think the unthinkable sometimes and think, well, what if, let's say, for example, this was never here and something else was in its place. Ask ridiculous questions, and every now and again, one of them turns out to be right.
To his surprise, Jonathan discovered that Wolsey's palace was designed and built within a strict geometric pattern of squares and circles. This was far removed from most great medieval buildings, which grew piecemeal and often in a chaotic manner. The scheme Jonathan had uncovered meant that Wolsey's Hampton Court had been fully designed before the very first brick was laid.
I'd never seen an English domestic building set out on such a pure geometric system before, completely new. And then it occurred to me that I was looking at a variety of spaces and courtyards that was very reminiscent of the palaces I'd seen in Italy.
Jonathan set off for Florence in pursuit of evidence to support his radical theory. Was Hampton Court the first English building inspired by the designs of the Italian Renaissance? The answer lay in the buildings of Florence, where the Renaissance began. The Renaissance was the cultural rebirth of the classical values and art of ancient Rome and Greece. It lasted for around 200 years and defined all areas of the arts, including architecture. The Palazzo Medici Riccardi was built in 1444 for Cosimo de' Medici, the head of Florence's ruling dynasty and one of the most powerful men in Italy. It's considered to be the archetypal Renaissance palace.
It's something like being in the centre of the universe, because this is the place that set the rules for all the great Renaissance princes to design their houses by. Yeah, you do feel you're right in the middle of it.
In the courtyard, Jonathan is immediately struck by similarities with Wolsey's palace. These medallions are so like Wolsey's roundels at Hampton Court that he suspects that those were once part of a similar gallery on arches. But it's the layout of the rooms surrounding the courtyard which really strikes a chord.
So you come off the main street through the entrance, and this is the heart of the palace, a perfectly square courtyard, beautiful one. And it's surrounded by the state apartments, like Hampton Court. And you've come under a series of arches into the entrance, like Hampton Court again. You've seen a series of medallions of Roman subjects, like Hampton Court. It's great, wonderful place, wonderful.